Good day to you all. I do pray that you're feeling blessed and highly favored. Of course, this is the second episode of Just Trill Talks. And on today, we'll be discussing a few current events, and also we'll be discussing some of the things that are relevant to our community. So we do have a jam-packed episode, but I won't be before you long here on today. And so we're just in for some good discussion. And hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully it provokes some thought and provokes you guys to want to communicate with me and tell me what you think about the subjects that we'll be covering here on today. Now, the first one will be Mr. Jesse Smullet. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. And of course, we won't go into everything that, surrounding him as of right now. Well, actually, we will. We'll go ahead and take a brief look here. I have an article, which, of course, states the timeline from the actor's 2019 arrest to his current jail time, so to speak. And so it states here that, let's see. January 29th of 2019, the alleged incident takes place. Chicago police said that they're investigating a suspected racist and homophobic attack of Jesse Smullet by two masked men which happened at about 2 a.m. They say the actor was punched in the face, had an unknown chemical substance poured on him, and a rope wrapped around his neck. Jesse Smullet tells police the two attackers also made reference to MAGA, which is Make America Great Again, the slogan used by President Donald Trump and his supporters. He goes to a doctor, and police describes his condition as good. Now, from the day after, on January 30th, he receives an outpouring of support from friends, family members, other people in the industry such as Viola Davis, Janelle Monáe, and T.I. himself, and they gave him some support. And on January 31st, he refused to hand over his phone, which was the first indicator of something suspicious going on. February 1st, he spoke for the first time, and again, I'm just kind of going through the timeline, so to kind of bring people up to speed as to what's going on. February 2nd of 2019. This was the comment that that grabbed the headline's attention. He stated that he was the gay Tupac, however that works. And on February 11th of 2019, his phone records were in fact submitted. The person of interest arrested by police on February 14th, which was 3 days after. And then, of course, on February 17th, trajectory of the investigation has shifted to where they started seeing some things. And then on February 20th, which it didn't take long, it was an open and shut type of investigation, it looks like. And as of February 20th, Jesse Smullet is charged by the police. So that happened extremely quickly. And ever since then, that's kind of led up to now. He was arrested on February 21st, and he has been, stating his innocence ever since then. And, we'll kind of just leave the timeline there. But of course, on March 14th, he pleaded not guilty. And just as of recent, I believe, let me get the correct date for you guys. The trial began November 21st. Smullet found guilty on December 9th and sentenced on March 11th. And so, I just wanted to bring you guys up to speed. But in all actuality, I do want to go ahead and give my take on this. Now, I don't understand all of the hate that Mr. Smullet is in fact receiving right now. When, in my opinion, you niggas is Jesse Smollett. I'm not sure why you don't choose to identify or choose to pick and choose rather which celebrities to identify with. Oftentimes I see individuals, they make idols, so to speak. When people come up, they identify with them, and oh, they somewhat remind me of me. I would do that, and they somewhat attach themselves to these individuals. But when someone comes out and does something to this effect, and it's frowned upon, you don't choose to identify with him, and I'll almost crucify him in that particular regard. But when I first witnessed his actions, he put me in the mind of many individuals that I know. Just to name a few of the traits that Mr. Smollett has exhibited in this particular regard. And, you can actually tell me if you, in fact, know of many individuals like this. He's exhibited, a lot of feminine ways, obviously. He's expressed an absurd desire to be relevant. He's displayed a lack of character. And he's also a bad actor. How many times do we see this? I mean, I can name a good 5 to 10 instances of people who I know or who I feel share the same character as a Mr. Smollett. Like, sometimes the lies are just so crazy and ridiculous. It's like, why did you lie about that? Why did you do that? Like, it makes no sense at all. Well, in this particular case, I actually, give Jesse some credit, because for one, it makes sense for him. In order, just from an acting standpoint, I can see him, trying to be relevant, using this as a ploy and try to bolster his status. It just happened to backfire on him, and that brings into question, a lot of things like, I think he overcalculated his popularity. I think that he kind of miscalculated who he was to the people. And, of course, this led to, things going in a different direction on him, because in all actuality, there are a number of individuals who would have made the same claims that Mr. Smollett has, and they probably wouldn't have been questioned. Or even if the roles had been reversed and this was a young lady coming out, making accusations or anything to that effect, would this have been questioned? Would the police have investigated it as hard, to kind of see what's going on? Not to, play anybody, but Tisha Campbell kind of just did something similar to this, where she claimed that she had got kidnapped and things to this effect, and the police actually said that there was no evidence of this. But I think she just didn't take it to the extent as Mr. Smollett did. He really tried to push a line as if he had a point there. And, the truth just kind of came to the light. But, I say all that to say that let's hold off on being, so judgmental on Mr. Smollett, because, in my opinion, a lot of individuals are operating on the same level of Jesse Smullet. And actually, that's going to be the new name, for a lot of you busters out there, what I'm saying? You're just going to be a Jesse Smollett ass nigga, you feel me? If you out here lying, you displaying feminine behaviors, pardon me. You just out here trying to be relevant the same way that a woman would. You just doing, going out the way. You're lying, you doing whatever you need to do, and you sticking with the lie. I think that's the biggest thing out of all of this, when caught in it, instead of fessing up and just, saying it is what it is. Hey, he dying with the lie. Yeah, I guess you can't knock him for that, but that's gonna be my new nickname for all you people out there, man, who on that Jesse Smollett stuff. Y'all definitely exhibiting the same character as Jesse, so don't be surprised if I mess around and call you that on accident. But with that is my take on it, and we're going to go ahead and transition into the next subject here, and that is going to be that of Kanye West. Not as crazy as you think. And with this is going to be an interesting topic here, because I'm sure that you saw in the media what appears to be Kanye losing his mind behind his ex-wife. It's playing out. There's all type of text messages from Pete Davis, and it just appears to be so messy and almost playing out as if it's a soap opera in our face. And to me, This is just another beautiful ploy by one of the greatest marketing geniuses that hip hop has ever seen. All of his, if we think back for just a second and we look at all of his infamous stunts ranging from the George Bush, and maybe many of you probably don't remember that, but from the George Bush thing where he said he doesn't care about black people, to where he bum rushed the stage, and said that Beyonce had the best video of all time, to the feud with 50 Cent, where they said one of them would retire if they didn't outsell the other. And, all of these tactics and things and stunts that he's pulled, each time he's managed to grab the entire attention of the masses. And so it's no surprise to me that he's actually or reported to be a billionaire as of right now. Now, if you've ever delved in any type of media or anything like that, you tend to look at things differently. Oftentimes individuals are doing things to stay relevant. It's no coincidence that Kanye West has been relevant going on 15 some years now. He's been relevant the whole time, constantly reinventing himself. This man is no dummy, and by any means, nothing that he's achieved has been lucky, in my opinion. He's just a marketing genius, so to speak. And with that, I hear so many people captivated by what's going on with him and Kim. And let me kind of delve into this for a second. So let's look at it this way. Most successful people that we know, they're usually disciplined planners. They are also diligent executors of this plan, if you will. And I believe everything has been planned, from Kanye marrying a Kim Kardashian, and what they're going through now. I just feel it's all planned. For one, let's start here. Why would you marry a social icon who has also mastered how to work the media and stay relevant by any means necessary? We look back at everything that Kim has done, ranging from using any of her social abilities, her relationships, whether that be from her friends to the men that she's been with, even going as far as to marry certain men. She's been relevant for a long time, and she's mastered how to stay relevant. And, I believe this is one of the main reasons, one of the main things that caught Kanye's attention, that, whoa, this woman is a business and she's going to always be relevant because she understands what's going on. She knows how to captivate the attention of the people and generate discussion about her. And so, I believe all of this is planned. And aside from this, Kanye has been in the industry. His mother also has been in the industry. So to think that they're not prepping, I believe their daughter's name is Northwest, to be a mega child star, I find that hard to believe. All of these individuals that we spoke on obviously love the industry, and they obviously love attention. So, what better way to, carry on this legacy other than to, transport that into a child star. Now, it's no surprise to me if we look at his actions. He's been a social recluse. Anytime he's ready to pop out, let me put it this way. I saw an interview one time where Kanye, he was talking about an application that he had developed or something like that, and he was talking about the swiping method, and he was saying that he was comparing it. He said, "What else goes like this?" And the man was like, "Well, dating apps, of course." And he was just talking about how this is going to be a correlation with the mind. Like this application that he's doing, he knows that it's going to be successful because it correlates over with the mind, a gesture that everyone does. I also heard this man speak on another interview, and he was talking about rhythmic chords and things like this that actually go in and affect your chakras. So, certain chords rather. So he has this thing broken down to a science as far as with this. So as far as marketing, are we to think that he doesn't have this down to a science as well? He jumps out, he grabs the attention of everyone, him and Kim, and everyone's talking about them right now. And not only that, but people actually feel like they can identify with both sides. They've managed to make America think that we can actually identify with the issues that they're having. Kanye West has done a great job of ingratiating himself with the black father, as if he's going through everything that the normal black father is going through, it works. And Kim, of course, we know too many women that play her particular role, that she's playing out in this particular relationship. And then, it's my belief, I would go as far as to say that, Pete might even be in on this thing, man. But you just never know. But that is, of course, my take on it. And one more thing on that before we transition topics. This is the same man that, he just killed Amber Rose on the blame game. He killed her on that. The Yeezy taught me. This is the same Kanye West. He knows who he is. You think he can't turn around and do the same thing to a Kim Kardashian? I'm sure that he's fully aware that he's completely reformed her image. He's actually made her creditable again and to a respectable woman, so to speak. Prior to Kanye he almost bit the bullet to better her reputation, so to speak, because prior to that, she just was kind of seen as a toss-around businesswoman doing things by any means, and now she's, she's into prison reform. She's just respected at this particular point, and the same thing that he said to Amber Rose. It's my belief that he could definitely do Kim Kardashian the same way. I don't doubt it by any means. But aside from that, even. Again, this is a reformed porn star, for lack of a better word. This is really what sprung her career off. And to think that this man has married this woman, you can still go see Kim Kardashian titties right now on any of the main the websites. You can go see her right now. Them tapes with Ray J. So I find it hard to believe that this man is this weak-minded to know that everybody in the world can see your woman. You're fully aware of what she is, but now you just a jealous, crazy ex-husband. Take it for what it is, man. Like Hits from the Streets used to say, you be the judge. That's just my take on it. It might be some real stuff going on there. It might be something real going on there. But I just know that it's correlating to us talking about them. And I think both of them are very aware of the fact that any publicity is good publicity. And so maybe it just is a coincidence. Maybe. But also, while we're on music, before we transition on to a more serious subject, Lil Durk. Lil Durk's album 7-0, I believe. Let me see here. 7220. And so, it's receiving mixed reviews. It's still opening to solid numbers. Let's see here. Let's get the projections pulled up. And so he actually debuted, or the record is projected, because the sales aren't in yet, but he's projected to sell anywhere from 120 to 130,000 albums, when his last album, which was somewhat of a classic, debuted at number 46, only selling 23,000 units. So he's definitely doing his thing. He's popping right now. And while we're on the marketing subject, Durk is definitely doing this thing as a marketer. One time for Durk, because he's experienced a lot, and he's like any good marketer, he's capitalizing on his pain, so to speak. Is with all of the people that have passed around him, the relationships that he, with Andy. Really, the whole album is almost about that. But he's going over his love life. The love that he has for his late cousins. Things to this effect. The shootouts that he's having in his home. The King Von. The passing of King Von, so to speak, and still recovering from that. So, of course, he's been through a lot, and typically individuals who go through these type of things, it's a wonder how he's still keeping his head up. But despite through all of this, he's still utilizing it for what it's meant to be used for, and that's financial gain for him and his family. And so he's presenting that to the world. And even, of course, with the NBA YoungBoy thing, from a marketing standpoint, man, I feel like all of it's about bogus. I don't really believe any of it. I think the only thing that makes the hip hop element dangerous, I feel like, is the fact that you have individuals who may not be as intelligent. I believe, YoungBoy, Durk, I feel all of them, they know what's going on right now. They're using this as a vehicle to sell more records and to get more money, and they obviously see that it's working. Durk is even hinting at, just to almost boost his numbers up, he's hinting at making a part 2 of the NBA YoungBoy diss song. I believe it's like or something like that, and so just overall, I'm looking at it from a marketing aspect, and he's definitely doing his thing and is blowing his sales out of the water. So shouts out to Durk for doing his thing there. Now finally, the last topic that we'll touch on today, like I said, this is just going to be a quick one. I just wanted to speak on a few subjects and really get out there and see what's going on with you guys and give you something to discuss, because a lot of people are speaking on these topics. Of course, they're going much more in depth, which I certainly could, but we try to kind of condense our thoughts, especially with the platform being small right now. I don't really want to go in and get one of them good old TD Jakes. Well, I'm killing TD Jakes, but get one of my good speeches and really give a lot of informative information and good substance and something, and it really doesn't have the audience that it should have. I don't like casting pearls among swine, but anyways, going back to the topic at hand, and that is going to be the importance of the BBL in the black community. Now, for those who don't know, the BBL, let's go ahead and get that pulled up here as far as the difference between a butt lift and a BBL, because there is a difference. Back in the day, a few years ago, I was actually going to get the surgery for someone, that I was going to actually get that performed. So we were looking into it, and it definitely wasn't as prevalent as it is now, and it was much more expensive. Of course, they was always talking about going to, I believe, the DR or wherever it was really kind of popping at the time. And then they had, various spots all throughout, the states that you can go to as well. And I remember me and my partner just kind of looking it up, and, because we didn't want our shorties with the hard booties, man, so we like, it's one where you can get the fat sucked out and use that where it still be soft, and they got to really get in there. Man, bro, it was funny. But when we was researching it, so this is something that's been around, and since then we have seen that this is just kind of taking over. It's kind of almost to the point where it's customary to have a BBL. If you wasn't born with the genetics, if you wasn't born with hips, hey, it's all good. For about $5,000 to $10,000, you're in the game right now. And I believe we kind of became desensitized to it because we were speaking on it the other day, and I actually kind of thought about it. It's almost like abortion. When you hear it, you're not really understanding what women are going through, like especially once it's reached a certain point, for her to get an abortion. This is a process. This is a life that's lost, in essence. But we're so desensitized to it in today's culture that it's really kind of like nothing. But if you've ever lost a child, or if you've had one to keep your baby and you've actually lost one, then you understand this and you understand the process of it. It's a mess. But that's just a quick example as to how we became desensitized to certain things. And I believe it's the same with the BBL nowadays. Now, of course, we've heard of various women, various individuals who have, of course, passed from this. Just from surgeries in general. It's always a risk that's been taken by going under the knife. And black people especially are not too fond of doctors in general. So, I'm not really sure how this came into the mix so prevalent, so prominent. Women are jumping up to get BBLs like they just volunteering to get a new weave or something, like, it's, or, a new wig, whatever may have you. It's just like it's nothing, And I was talking to a young lady the other day, and she was just like, yeah, females, they're not even, the studies haven't been fully cast yet, so we don't know. We don't have 15, 20 years of research to kind of know what the end result of this is going to be. Chances are you're going to have to go back and, get it adjusted, to have another surgery on top of that years from now. So, it really, a lot of women should, in fact, be weighing their options when they're doing that. And so this caused me to think, and I said to myself, women are almost operating in the same spirit as a young nigga taking penitentiary chances. This is the same mentality, because from the outside looking in, it's crazy. Like, I'll put it to you this way. Me and my partner was talking, and I asked him, I said, under what circumstances would you go under the knife? Would you go get a surgery? We kind of looked at each other, and our answer was the same. Like, damn near under no circumstances. Like, it really has to be life or death. We're going to exhaust damn near every other option to get out of putting our life in somebody's hands that we barely know. Going to sleep and going under surgery, going under a knife, having them cut us open, somebody we don't even know, and that thought is a bit frightening, to have that much trust and that much faith in somebody. But it's the same thing as a young person who's out here, doing their thing, who, taking whatever risk that they need to take. This remind me of it's the same thing how young nigga feel before he go kick a dope, before he go, before he go make a jug or whatever may have you. It's the same type of ignorant aggression, I would say, to where you can just cast everything aside and go after this gung-ho. And it also means that in their mind, the reward is so high that it's worth this. The reward is so high for me getting this BBL that this is not even a question. They almost coming with that 300 mentality. Like, that's a easy decision for if you're asking life or death, that's an easy decision for me. This, much like the BBL, that is a very much an easy decision for them. If you have the resources, the funds, why not get it? And I thought to myself, and I said, well, women are very much justified in this right now, because we as men, we're stamping this ideology. We're stamping the fact that if you do go get this surgery, if you come in here with a better body, no matter if we wasn't paying you any mind, any attention a day ago, last week, nobody was wanting to talk to you. If you come in here with the right shape, with the right pants on, with the right leggings on, whatever may have you, your holler's gonna go up. I know that for a fact. Folks is definitely gonna go up. And the sad part about it, with us honing in on this and preaching, and all, not even preaching it, because women more so, they gonna watch your actions. And we've almost stated that the traits of a woman, the character of a woman, her ability to have any substance about her is almost irrelevant, as long as the body type is right, as long as the look is right. Then she's good money. She could literally be a catastrophe waiting to happen. She could be 5 or 6 deep with children, have a boot camp over there. She's still going to have action. She's still going to think she's in the right, and she's still going to feel that reward. She's going to feel justified in actually getting this BBL, because what she's seeking, she is going to receive it. It may not be the right type of attention. And she still may come up short. She is still going to come up short if she doesn't double back and get the real traits that make a woman. But it's just a sad circle that's going on right now, to where, and the fact is that you don't have to get these. What happened to the days of hard work, to getting your lazy ass in the gym and actually working hard for a body type that you want? But I do get it. I just come to look at both sides of the coin. Shouts out, because I know, I'm rocking with the BBL. I'm not gonna sit up here and say not. If you come in looking right, and but it has to match. That just don't get you through the door with me. The appearance, that's gonna make you look, but we got to see what's happening thereafter. Or, that's going to be short-lived no matter how you slice it across the board. But that is really what I have on today. Definitely tap in. Tell me what you think. Certainly voice your opinion on the subject. Am I tripping? Are you a Jesse Smullet ass nigga? Let me know. You feel me? What do you think about Durk's album? What do you feel about Kanye West? Do you feel like I'm overanalyzing it? Do you or am I short selling it, so to speak? Do you think it's really a lot of stuff going on, and Kanye, he just going through what every other black man is going through, and I'm tripping? And finally, as far as the BBL, do you feel like it's just part of the black culture at this point, and almost a rites of passage for a young woman who wasn't born with genetics to go ahead and get that stimulus package, that booster, so that she can go ahead and have success in her endeavors? Tap in, definitely let me know what you think. Again, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, and I may tap in later on this week if some more relevant news comes up, or I may just come with a message. We're going to switch it up. We're not going to always be speaking on subjects like this, or current events rather, but anytime that I do speak on the current events, then we're still going to filter in some type of message of substance concerning the black community. So that's my method there, and I definitely hope that you've enjoyed yourself, and I do look forward to seeing you all next time, and do have yourselves a blessed one.